Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how I wrap up a drum mix. There are two things I do to make the snare pop more in a hard rock and metal mix, and that is to add some reverb and add a gate. First thing we'll do is we'll add the plate or reverb. So I'm going to create an aux, just going to change the color. Then I'm going to name this plate, create a bus, rename it plate. And then on my snare top, bottom, and snare, so all of these three, I'm going to select them and then bust them. And I'm moving fairly quickly, but you can see my previous video on the keyboard shortcuts and how I route my drums to an auxiliary. Okay, so now these three, the snare top, snare bottom, and my sample snare are routed to this plate right here. So if I were to let's just mute everything so we can just hear the plate, or just so we can hear the snare coming through. Okay, let me mute the drum mix. Let me use my parallel compression mix. And then I'm going to mute my room, my overhead, and my hat. These are all my cymbals because my cymbals are going straight to the 2 bus. So now if I hit play, this is the only track I should hear. All right, so now let's work on that. So let me go ahead and bring up my reverb. And I'm using Steven Slate's VerbSuite Classics. I have a preset. And the preset that I use is the bright CLA snare. And then I leave everything the way it is except the pre-delay. I like to raise the pre-delay to like 10 milliseconds. And then I'm going to hit play. Okay, so you can hear the difference there. And it does sound a little gated too. But again, all I want to do is just tuck it in so it can make the snare pop. So now I'm going to unmute this. I'm going to bring the plate all the way down and I'm going to slowly raise it. Let me try that again, but I think I have it at a nice spot. Let me do it before and after. Awesome. Let me just check that I'm not slamming the compressor on the mix, on the 2 bus mix. Sounds good. Quick and easy. There we go. I just added a little bit of reverb to the snare. And right now, I hear a difference, but you may think that it's not doing much to it. It just sounds different. But once it's in the mix, that reverb helps the snare cut through better. Okay. And the last thing I want to do is I just want to fatten up the snare a little bit. And this is something that I learned from Jordan Valeriet. So I'm going to create a new auxiliary, stereo aux. I'm going to call this gated. And let me just change color. It's going to my 2 bus. Now I just have to add a bus, rename it, call it gated. Snare, select snare top, snare bottom, sample snare. Go ahead and route it. And then make sure that all of them are. And let's do the same thing. I'm going to mute drums, the drum bus, crush, my parallel compressor. Now gate, leave it open, but mute the plate. And then my cymbals, just so I can hear it. Okay, and now the gate is going to. And then here, what I do, I do a couple of things. First, I like to make this not stereo, but I like to just make it collapse a little bit more. So I bring it around like 30 or so. Okay, so it's just a little bit more centered. And then now I bring my reverb, and the reverb that I use is Valhalla. And then there's a preset. And the preset is medium gate right here. And let's take a listen. Okay. It doesn't sound great by itself, but you tuck that in and it does make the snare like beefier, thicker. So here we go. Let me just unmute all of this, bring the gate down, and I'm going to slowly bring it up. Here we go. There we go. As you can hear, the whole thing, now the snare, it's cutting through better. Let me just double check the 2-bus here. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's go to a chorus part where it gets a little bit more dense. Let's check it out over here. All right, so you can hear that the snare now is really slamming and it's cutting and it sounds thicker. I just did it before and after that, and you can really hear it. And that really helps for this drum mix to really cut through a very dense hard rock and metal mix. Until next time, happy mixing.